Hello, am I live? There's the timer. Hey, everybody, it's Joe Knows Cryptos here with a live video broadcast today. Um, hey, wow, we got some people on here early. Thanks for coming on. I didn't even make an announcement or anything like that, but I've been having trouble with my phone uploading to YouTube. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Robzilla? And Litecoin Perosi FN based. Already smashed the likes. I didn't even say anything yet. I like the way you think, though. Cool. Yeah, I've been having trouble with my phone uploading to YouTube the last couple of days, so I decided to go ahead and go live here right off the bat. So, overall, Slim Shady. What's happening, partner? Um, Overall, not too much excitement going on in the cryptocurrency market. We got our market cap holding pretty steady there at the $180 billion market cap, and the volume about 54 billion, still pretty decent. Yeah, sorry, I'm doing it live. Let's do it. So, like I said, not a whole heck of a lot to talk about today, but a couple of things I did want to bring up. And I was watching a video. When I do my research, I watch videos, I read articles. I get it from all different sources. So someday you may hear me say something from a YouTuber that you've watched. And, sometime, we got to get our information from somewhere. So I kind of try to go around and gather it up and do my research as much as I can. So, pick up 11 more Litecoin today. Nice job. I think it's a good move. I'm going to get into it in a minute here. So, the word on the street is that you hear from, I'm going to say 80 to 85% of the YouTubers, the experts, the um, people who have a voice that have a lot of following, or these type of people. The word is that they're expecting a market correction. They're expecting Bitcoin to maybe even go down to test the $3,000 mark again. And these are from some people that I wasn't expecting to hear it from, some people that I respect. Not with, I don't agree with everything that they say, but they bring up a lot of good points. So I do listen to these people. But on this one, I'm going to respectfully disagree. I think there might be slight pullback, but nothing worth selling and trying to make profits on, in my opinion. Hey, Steven, what's up? So, yeah, they're saying that Bitcoin could test that $3,000 mark again. And I think that's a bunch of baloney, to be honest with you. We saw the market come up and it's holding, it's not coming back down. Now they're saying on the charts and the graphs and this, and you know how I feel about charts and graphs. They're okay when you're looking at volume and things like that, and when you're looking at very high cap markets with a lot of volume coming in and out. But something as small as cryptocurrency, one small thing can trigger a blow up, right? It can trigger it. Anything can trigger it at this point. I mean, there's so much good news out there that's just waiting to come our way, that it could just be an announcement that it's going to be happening. It doesn't even have to happen, just that something's going to be approved or something's going through. Fidelity, China accepting cryptocurrencies, a country that's going to start putting it in their reserves. you know yes, Bix Weir, I wanted to talk about that video that I saw. I actually watched Bix Weir's video today. I'm going to go over a little bit. Actually, I'll get into it right now. So there's this guy who's very well respected in cryptocurrency, Mike Novogratz, and LTC Perosi brought it up, and that was on my list of things to talk about today. So he says that you should get out of Litecoin. You should sell your Litecoin and buy Bitcoin instead. Why on earth would anybody go ahead and make a statement like that, right? So Why didn't he say you should sell your Ethereum and get into Bitcoin, or sell your XRP and get into Bitcoin? Why did he single out Litecoin specifically? Right? There's a reason why he did that. Either one, he's a super Bitcoin bull who doesn't think that anything that is similar to Bitcoin has any value. Litecoin would be the thing that's the most similar to Bitcoin, right? Because it's kind of like the test net for Bitcoin. So, right, Poseidon Lou, what's up, my man? How you doing? I've seen you on Ben's channel, Poseidon Lou. um, but uh, but people who are like these Bitcoin maximalists, they don't like any competition for Bitcoin. And Litecoin is, I don't want to say it's competition because they're kind of run together. One goes up, the other goes up. But lately, Litecoin has been going up way higher. They've been moving way more than Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin made a huge move from 4,000 up to 5,000. This year, Litecoin has gone from a low of, I think, $22 up to 95, 97, something like that. It hit. Now it's back down around 87. To me, that's a pullback. That's a 10-point pullback. Even though it only hit 97 briefly, that's still a 10-point pullback. That's a good size pullback. That's good enough for me to be satisfied with. So Mike Novogratz is someone who people respect. I don't want to say he's on the same level as Warren Buffett in all of investing, but as far as cryptocurrency investing goes, he's up there with the likes of a Warren Buffett. He's one of the more respected voices in cryptocurrency. And he's somebody that we cheer on when he talks about the cryptocurrency market, especially last year when the market was just going down, 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 down. And at least he was saying some positive things about cryptocurrencies. But it's come pretty clear now that he's shown his hand, that he's trying to use his propaganda and his influence to drive Litecoin down, because either he's scared, is that a word, afraid, that it's going to push Bitcoin down, that people are going to see the value in Litecoin, and instead of putting their money into Bitcoin and driving up the Bitcoin price, making his pockets fatter, they're going to start putting their money into Litecoin. Now, what a ridiculous statement to say. And EOS, so so he either doesn't want you putting money into Litecoin because he wants you to put it into Bitcoin, or he missed the big run up, because Bitcoin maximalists don't usually invest in things that are similar to Bitcoin. They figure if Bitcoin's going to go up, things like Litecoin will go up with it. But now that Litecoin's passing it out, I think they're starting to get a little bit worried about the way that Litecoin went up. They're getting nervous. The elite, the people at top, the influencers, these people are all connected. They talk to each other. The elite have a game plan that they have laid out, that they want people to follow, what coins they want to be successful. And unfortunately, they don't have the say in this. We do, because they know if they go in full guns and buy up all the cryptocurrencies, if they start to, then if they bought all the cryptocurrencies, then they have it all. Who are they going to sell it to? It doesn't really have value. I mean, they can sell it to themselves, but the general public would probably become a little bit disinterested once cryptocurrencies hit heights that they couldn't really afford. If they go in at a slower pace, but still too fast, where they spook the market and people start jumping in, boom, then it runs up and they can't get it cheap anymore either. They're trying to keep Litecoin down right now. They're trying to beat it down a little bit. And this is proof positive when he came out and made that statement. He could have made it about any other cryptocurrency, but he made it about Litecoin. So either he is shorting Litecoin, he doesn't own any Litecoin, and he wants to get some at a cheaper price. And he knows that the price has gone up, so he thinks it's a good time now to bash it because he thinks that there should be a correction. But Or maybe he, I mean, I would think he would know that Litecoin is happening before Bitcoin, but maybe all he could think about, sometimes these people get so wrapped up, all they could think about is their coin, their Bitcoin. Bitcoin is happening. Well, he forgot. Maybe he forgot Litecoin is happening almost 6 months before Bitcoin is happening. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me read a few of these comments in here real quick. Litecoin doubled. Yeah, Litecoin's more than doubled in value this year. It was at I think about $24 to start the year. So it's 24, 48, 60. It's almost gone up 3 times its value. Having is driving Litecoin up. Yes, and I think it's going to continue to. Now, I think they're nervous because they know if they don't try to rein in Litecoin now, that there could be some FOMO, fear of missing out. People might start piling into Litecoin, and they haven't piled in yet. And they know that Litecoin, last time Litecoin went nuts, the whole market, boom, came up with it. It's actually done that twice this year, and it's drove the market up with it. Litecoin has been the leader. One time it was EOS, I think, but 2 times Litecoin. And you can also say Bitcoin this last time. But Litecoin has been involved, and they kind of see that things are changing. Things aren't, maybe they can't control it the way they want to. Now, it's a good thing that the general public, the retail market, isn't really hip to cryptos yet, because I believe right now the market would be going absolutely crazy. It's just that people just still don't know enough about it. But on Binance, they said that the CEO of Binance did an interview where he said, new money's coming in, the volume is higher, new accounts are opening. To me, these are all signs that we're on the way up. We're on the way up. We're all the way up. We're all the way up. So, with new money coming in, that's what we need. Now, gosh, if one big institution would come in, it's going to be off to the races. I think that this year is going to be a great year. I think right now they're trying to scare people. They're trying to settle this market down a little bit. They don't want it to explode too soon. They're coming in and they're saying it's just going to be kind of flat. It's going to be kind of flat. And I think they're scared. I think they're really afraid that the crypto market is going to blow up, and it's going to make too many poor people wealthy. And they don't want that. They want to be the ones that control the wealth, because the people that control wealth control influence. People that have influence control decision making. People that control decision making control others. And they want to control others. That's their whole game plan, is control, control, control. They don't care about money. They don't care about dollar bills. They've got unlimited money. They own the central banks. They own the printing press. How many of you out there didn't know that the Federal Reserve is not an American company? Did anybody not know that? Because my father, who been investing in the stock market. I mean, he's 80 now. He's been investing ever since I was born. So he's been in there for a long, long time. And when I told him that about 3, 4 years ago, he didn't believe me. He thought that the Federal Reserve was part of the American government, and it's not. It's their own entity. They were created by the elite. I want to see. I'm not going to give a date because I know I'm going to get it wrong. But if you're interested in finding more out about that, there's a book called The Creature of Jekyll Island. I think it is called, kind of like Jekyll and Hyde. But Jekyll Island is an island, I think, off of North or South Carolina, where the elite all agreed to meet. They all sent each other private notes through the mail. They all arrived separately on Jekyll Island, and they put it that it was a modest facility. Turns out it's this totally decked out, gorgeous place, right? They go there and they meet, and they decide that they want to control the public. They want to control money because uh, who was it that said, people, oh, let me control the money and I'll control the people or the world. I think it was Rothschild who said that. Yeah, Rockefeller, Rothschild, Warrenbergs, Morgans. Yeah, they all met on Jekyll Island. That's right. LTC Perosi, up on your stuff. Nice work. Nice work. Um, but yeah, America does not own the Federal Reserve. They are a private entity who determines what the interest rates will be. So when we start to get too wealthy, we start to be too prosperous. What do? They raise the interest rates to knock us back down on our butts. You know, the divide in this country has been growing. You've got the rich, not that many, but the rich, you're either rich or poor. The middle class is shrinking. And the middle class is what really freedom is. Because once you've got the rich and the poor, the rich are going to have the muscle to push the poor around. The middle class is kind of the unknowns. Unless you get so low class that you're ready and willing to have a rebellion. But we're kind of the equalizers that kind of have enough clout because there's enough of us to make changes and not get pushed around. But they use their propaganda and influence us to sway us. And they also have us work, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. We've got kids. When I was a kid, all you needed was one parent to work. Now you need two and you're barely getting by. They just keep us busy, busy, busy. Then on the weekend, you don't want to think about what they're doing. You just want to relax or spend time with your family. And they do this just to keep us occupied while they go ahead and manipulate the world and how they want it to be. And it's terrible the way that it is, and it doesn't need to be that way. There's enough wealth to go around for everybody where we're not so rich, high on the hog that we feel like we don't have to work. But but we don't need to work 60 hours a week, two people in the household just to make ends meet. All right, that was done on purpose to keep us busy and occupied and out of their way. Well, I want to get back in their way, and God willing, with the help of cryptocurrencies, we're going to get fiat out of here. We're going to get the Fed out of here. We're going to get the I'm on a roll here. But yeah, we're going to get the Fed out of here, hopefully. And if not, we're going to get people in the Fed who are willing to work with the people and for the people, not against the people. But the thing I fear with that is people can move and get changed and be replaced. And I'm just afraid that the same bad people are going to get back in power once, I'm not going to talk about Trump, but he seems to be trying to put the right people in place. So anyway, yeah, 1776, 1776 will commence again. Yeah, baby. All right. I'm gonna go back and read some of the comments here real quick just to see if I missed anything I wanted to talk about. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I wouldn't be selling the Litecoin right now. The way that they're trying to push you out of it, I mean, you may see it come down a little because they are going to scare some people into selling. Hopefully, they don't scare too many, but the exact opposite can happen. If they don't, every day that goes by that they don't scare people out of Litecoin, they get a little more nervous. And a little more nervous. How come Litecoin's not going down? We're talking bad about it. We got Mike Novogratz out there saying that you should sell it and it's not going down. What if something big happens in the meantime and Litecoin goes like to the moon? I know we've got all this fiat money, but we all know that fiat's not worth anything. We want stuff. We want things. Things are like Litecoin and like Bitcoin and like houses and real estate. We want to take people's land and we want to own 90% of the land in America and shove everybody into small towns, small cities, and have them live all on top of each other where we can control them and put them in self-driving cars. And as time goes on, we'll tell them that you can't even have a car that a human drives because you're not going to be insurable because it's too dangerous, because humans get in too many accidents, and that the only kind of car you're going to be able to have is a electronic self-driven car. You won't even be able to have an override on it. And they'll do that so you can't take a long trip across the country, especially if they start a social credit score like they're doing in China, where they can lock you down and they can control your money, and they can go into your bank account and take your money, or limit how much you can take out. They want to have control of everybody and everything. And eventually they want to depopulate the world. If you haven't ever looked up the Georgia Guidestones, guys, you know, I like to throw a few things in here that are a little controversial every now and then. But I'm going to just check out the Georgia Guidestones. It was there are these 20-foot tall granite pillars that were put up by someone in the elite group. Many people speculate Ted Turner. We don't know for sure. But it wasn't just an ordinary common person, because could you imagine how much a 20-foot tall granite pillar, and not one, but I think it's like 6 of them, another one laid across the top, almost like an altar, all carved in about 30, 40 different languages, all the most commonly spoke languages. And it's the rules for humanity. And the very first one is to uh, limit the population to, is it 500 million, I think? And right now we're over 7 trillion. That means a lot of us are going to be gone if this is their plan. Guys, I hope it never comes to happen. And I don't want to scare anybody, but if you haven't heard of the Georgia Guidestones, you're on YouTube. After you're done watching me, you can check it out. All right. Oh, I also noticed today that Grayscale was down about 20 cents, 22 cents. Grayscale is a New York stock, NASDAQ stock that trades. That's kind of like the trade for Bitcoin that you can buy with a stock, kind of like a derivative, which I hate. If you want Bitcoin, just go ahead and buy Bitcoin. Don't buy a derivative of it. But down 19 cents today, and Bitcoin wasn't really down. I mean, it was pretty flat all day. So, and it's only at $6.64. So that's a decent size move. Well, it's almost 3%. It's not a huge move, but I wouldn't think would be down at all. I have to consider the entire market was down today, $190. Uh-oh. Where's that fiat going? All right. So let me look at a few of these comments here. I get on these tangents. I'm sorry, guys. I get carried away sometimes. Crypto hits 20 trillion market cap someday. Litecoin will be at least $1 trillion. I was thinking about, we see these nice moves in Litecoin, right? Up to, say it gets to $100, right? That'll be a milestone for this year. Of course, we want to go a lot higher than that. If you have 100 Litecoin, to be a millionaire, Litecoin has to go up to $10,000. So it's really going to have to go crazy, because we would probably need to see the fiat totally crash to see it get to something like $1 trillion. Because let's say a nice move for Litecoin was $1,000 a year. Let's say it went up $1,000 a year. At that rate, it would still take 10 years for 100 Litecoin to be worth, $1 million. I think there's potential for it at times to go up more than $1,000 a year, especially if we get some craziness. But then you always get pullbacks. That's just the way. Nothing ever goes straight up. It always comes down. There's always profit taking, no matter what kind of market. But I also have to remind you how small of the market cap cryptocurrency is. It is tiny. It is tiny. We were at not even at $1 trillion at the high. We're at 800 billion. We're not even at 200 billion now, and Litecoin was at almost $400. So, I mean, it can get there. It can get there. That trillion might take a little time, though. If Litecoin goes down, I'll buy more. Yeah, actually, I sold some of my altcoins yesterday, and bought some more Litecoin, because I'm trying to get to an amount where, the more of it I have, the less it has to go up for me to, you know, have that, what they call it, FU money, where you don't care what anybody says or does. You can just say FU type of thing. But, and not that I'm a mean, like I said, I wouldn't do it to be spiteful or mean, but, um, you know, it's just nice to have that security where you don't have to kiss ass all the time to just get by. Not that I'm one to do that. Trust me. Probably one of my biggest faults is I don't do it enough because I'd probably be a lot further ahead in life because I think I'm intelligent enough. I'm well spoken enough, but I've never been one to like authority, unfortunately, and I've never been arrested. I'm not a criminal or anything like that. I'm an anti-authoritarian, and I just always been that way ever since I was a kid. And I'm not a person to get in a lot of trouble or anything like that either. Just you tell me to do something that I don't think is right, I'm just not going to do it. All right, the halving is driving Litecoin. Yes, the halving, the halving, the halving. Everyone that you talk to that's interested in Bitcoin, tell them about the Litecoin halving, and that's the thing. Um, that is the thing that Mike Novogratz forgot to mention. It's the halving of Litecoin. He only wants to talk about Bitcoin. Jay Snip wrecked. Ooh, Jay Snip. Jay Snip, I guess, sold all his Litecoin. He's a YouTuber as well, if you're not familiar with Jay Snip. But I heard he got into Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Cash is doing pretty good. But he did get wrecked as far as his Litecoin positions go. Absolutely. I bought out of Litecoin yesterday. I was waiting for it to drop. Should I buy back closer to the halving or earlier? So, all right. So the question is, somebody sold out of their Litecoin. Should they buy back sooner or closer to the halving? My opinion is usually how the crypto market goes is when you have the news out here, it seems to climb up to the news, and then right before the news, there's a sell-off, right? But on halvings, what happens is it does the same thing. It does a sell-off. So say it gets up to, just say it gets up to $1,000 per Litecoin before the halving. Then it drops down to say 700. But then within the next 6 months after, it passes the previous high there of 1,000 and goes up to, say 2,000, 3,000. So how I plan on playing it right now is the only thing I'm buying right now is Litecoin. I'm going to be buying it until the halving is in August, probably until end of June, maybe the beginning of July. And if I see it start to act funny, like days when the market goes up, it stays the same or goes down, I might sell like half. I would never sell more than half of my Litecoin because I believe in it. But I would probably sell half of it and put it into Bitcoin because then Bitcoin's going to do the same thing because their halving is in May of 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to see the same thing. Bitcoin will go up, probably until April, end of April, and then it'll probably dip down. So then maybe you sell out of your Bitcoin and go back into Litecoin. Maybe I don't know. That's too far out to say for me right now. If I'm still making videos then, God willing I am, then I'll probably have a stronger opinion on it at that time. But that's kind of how I plan on playing that right now. What should you do now? Look, this is not financial advice. I have to disclose that on every video. Personally, I'm still buying Litecoin. Did you sell all your Litecoin, or did you sell it all, or did you just sell some of it? They say the best way to get in is to slowly, periodically buy. Proportion it out in case as the market fluctuates. That way, you'll have an average. All right, so let's see here. But I'm buying. I'm still buying. I'm buying, like I said, up until July. I'm buying. I'm going to continue to buy up until then. Let's see. About like kind of $42. Good job, Charlie. That's a good price. You're up already. So I went down. I buy more Litecoin. Yeah, I tend to buy on the dips on days when there's a dip. So Litecoin was down to $86 yesterday. I sold some of my altcoins and bought some more Litecoin. It's going to 200 or 300 more percent by the end of the year. Steve, and I hope you're right, buddy. I hope you're right. That would be awesome. People talk about the $1 million Bitcoin ratio for one, and that would put like, yeah, I mean, if it should be 4-to-1, right, to Bitcoin. So here's an analogy I have on Bitcoin and Litecoin, and why the 4-to-1 ratio isn't reflected now, but will be. All right, so let's say you're at a party and there's a drink dispenser, and every minute it dispenses a drink for someone to drink. And let's say there's 5 people at the party, right? So right now Bitcoin, and now you've got Litecoin that dispenses 4 drinks per minute, right? So, and you got 10 people at the party. That's you know that's a drink every 2 minutes for the people. That's plenty. But now let's say you got 100 people at the party. Well, now Bitcoin is more valuable because that drink there's only one of them coming out uh, every minute, and there's still 4 Bitcoin drinks coming out. But now let's see you've got 50,000 people at the party, right? It doesn't matter if you've got 1 drink coming out or 4 drinks coming out. It's not enough. And that's when Litecoin is going to catch up, when you got that much people coming into the market. I hope that analogy made sense. I tried to put it in a different way to somebody else, but I like that one a little bit better. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Sounds like smoke and mirrors. Be careful, everyone. Yeah, I agree, Charlie G. Bilderberg meetup. Yeah, Bilderberg. If you're not familiar with that. I mean, do you guys want me to get into all these all these things right now, or do you want me to talk about Litecoin? Gladden TV, what's up, my man? Strong. Gladden TV is strong. We need to get information. So, where do I need to get information to solidify my confidence in Litecoin? Can you provide links, websites, articles? Can I? I could, but I mean, it's not that hard to find, Robzilla. You can basically, um, the halving is the biggest news event. That's pretty much common knowledge, so you don't really need a link for that. EFIN, you can check that out, is the cryptocurrency exchange that exchanges coins for Litecoin. So they have their exchange now. You can look up that Litecoin owns a part of a bank in Germany. You can look up the Lightning Network that Litecoin is a part of. You can look up atomic swaps. You can look up Charlie Lee. He's one of the leaders of Litecoin. He's a wealth of information about Litecoin, and he's one of the great things about Litecoin. Some people got mad at him because he sold off a bunch of, well, pretty much all of his Litecoin. Well, he sold it off 3 different times. The last time was when Litecoin was at its high, and people thought that, hey, who's this guy scamming? He sold Litecoin at the high, but they forget he sold it off 2 other times before that. And the reason he did that is because he wants Litecoin to be decentralized, as decentralized as possible. So by saying decentralized, it would be too centralized if one person controlled too much of it and they could influence the direction that it goes. So he just said, you know what? I'm selling it, and we're going to let Litecoin be its own thing. We're going to have our own grassroots, our own foundation that's going to control it and let it go. He is someone who has very good insight as to the way things are going to be in the future, the way he plans things, the way he associated Litecoin as the silver to Bitcoin as gold. He knew a lot of people from the gold and silver market could relate to that. Those people would be putting their money into cryptocurrencies, and they could automatically have an instant association with Bitcoin and Litecoin because everybody knows Bitcoin. They're in turn going to know Litecoin. People are going to buy Litecoin just based on that, not even knowing anything about it. Just people that are silver bugs. All right. Um, he has a vision of where this is going to go, and his visions have not been wrong yet. Um, so he's a great person to have on Litecoin's team. Those are a few things to get you started with. Um, but I personally don't think that Litecoin is going to be a currency as much as a store of value. Bitcoin is going to be the ultimate store of value because there's fewer of them, but Litecoin is going to be right up there one day. It's just going to be too valuable. People are just going to hold it and they're not going to want to sell it. And if you own a Bitcoin or a Litecoin in 10 years from now, you're going to be like, oh my God, that guy, that's the guy that owns a Litecoin. That's the guy that owns a Bitcoin. Seriously, there's less than 3% of the population are in cryptocurrencies right now. The sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, guys. Getting a little hoarse here. Saving in crypto works in cycles given. Yeah, absolutely. Things could happen quickly. Things could happen quickly. You know, the world is a mess right now. The world is an absolute disaster. It's a pile of crap, and America, luckily, is sitting the highest on top of it. But you know, if countries start to fail, if banks start to fail, you know, you can watch videos on Venezuela. They have their dollar littering the streets. It's not even worth it for people to pick it up. It's too much work to pick up their money. You know, if you drop money here, it's still worth it to pick it up. Hey, that, you know, I just found it a 10. Hey, all right. Um, in Venezuela, money is it's worthless. It's worthless. Um, but good news is Litecoin and Bitcoin are accepted in Venezuela, and their blackout is over. Woohoo! Good news for Bitcoin and Litecoin because now those are accepted as currencies in Venezuela. So, although their money isn't worth much, they have to have a whole bunch of money to buy Bitcoin and Litecoin. They're buying it. The volume in Venezuela of Bitcoin and Litecoin is the highest it has ever been, ever. And it's only going to get higher. And this is going to happen in other countries. Um, it's up in Sweden, um, Venezuela. It's up in 5 countries at its all-time high, and that those numbers are just going to continue to grow. I think it's Italy, um, a country in Africa, Zimbabwe. I think it's now granted these countries, some of the besides Sweden, a lot of these countries are really bad off, and just Sweden really promotes Bitcoin. They're really pro cryptocurrency, I should say. That's why they're up. They're just starting. They're going to get mass adoption before anyone, and they're going to be one of the richer countries in the future because of it. How was your Brad Wade? Yes, my 357th subscriber. I remember you. Now, thank you. Thank you to all the people that subscribe and like. Guys, if you're on here, you know, might as well hit the thumbs up, the like button if you're still on here, if you've been watching me for this long, right? I mean, why not? It helps me out. Will help me make better quality videos instead of just sitting here and chatting. I'll be able to put some more fancy graphics up and try to make things a little more fun, you know. Um, remember scarcity factor. Scarcity factor is probably one of the biggest things. LTC, Perosi, absolutely. I'm just going to read some of these. Let's see. Yeah, Bitcoin and Litecoin will be impossible to buy at some point. There's going to be a point when there's just not any left, and people are going to want it. And you know those rich people who have to have everything that they want. You know, I want Porsche, but it has to be red and it has to be a convertible, um, and I want it tomorrow. and I want this house with and I want 5 Bitcoin. What do you mean I can't have 5 Bitcoin? I want 5 Bitcoin. I get what I want. Well, you can get it, but you're going to have to pay through the nose for it. Watch. James, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I'm all in on Bitcoin after June. All in, huh? Why not? I'm going to stay in Litecoin a little bit, though, still. La, 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 la. Hi, there is yes, thank you for confirming August. FN based. Desk light. Can you turn on? Thanks for the light. I can turn towards my window a little bit. I have a light on here, but it just does not throw much light. Like I said, if I get more subscribers, guys, I will definitely put on a better show for you. I'll be better equipped. I'll probably have the little microphone stand and the actual webcam, not the one that's built into my computer on my phone. You know what I mean? I know how to do video editing and all that stuff. It's just hard to justify when I don't have at least 1,000 people, that watch the video. It's a lot of work. It can take hours a day to put, a 30-minute video together. And I don't think YouTube will let me make videos longer than 15 minutes until I get at least 1,000 subscribers as well. Would you sell Bitcoin to buy Litecoin now? I don't know. It depends. If there's a question, would you sell Bitcoin to buy Litecoin now? If you don't own any Litecoin, I would maybe sell some Bitcoin to get some Litecoin. But it depends if the retail market jumps in, because the cryptocurrency that everybody knows, well, not everybody, you'd be surprised how many people I asked, do you know what Bitcoin is? They don't even know what Bitcoin is. But the ones who do know about cryptocurrencies that aren't in the market already have heard of Bitcoin, that has name recognition. And that's what Litecoin is trying to do now with their promoting and their sponsoring concerts and, UFC matches and all this stuff. So they want to be as name recognizable as Bitcoin is. But since most people know Bitcoin, they've heard of Bitcoin, that's the one that they're going to put their money into if there is a big run up from new money coming in. Now, people that know a little bit about cryptocurrencies, that know about the halving, will realize that Litecoin is the one that they should be in. Kind of like, I assume that people know what I know and what we know, but they don't. So those people just be like, yes, the market's going up, get me Bitcoin. And then they may, after their money's in Bitcoin, they may see Litecoin going up and saying, what's this Litecoin thing? I got into Bitcoin because I know there's a halving, but I heard that this Litecoin thing has a halving. So I don't think you'll do bad being in Bitcoin, but I think that the smart money, if institutional money gets in before the halving of Litecoin, that Litecoin will go over $400 within the next 4 months. Just my opinion, not financial advice. Let's see. Channel is growing. Yes, thank you. Matty. I've got to look up how to say your name. Matty Van Dalen. Is that right, Matty? One of my first, if not my first subscriber. Thank you so much, Matty, for sticking with me here. What is the halving you speak of? The halving is, Benny V, the halving is every 4 years, Bitcoin and Litecoin give the people who mine it. If you're not familiar with how Bitcoin and Litecoin work, it's not a currency that was just created out of thin air. It has to be mined. And how they do that is there's a block that has to be built, and then it's broken up into pieces. And from those pieces, the people who mine it get coins, get Bitcoin or Litecoin, depending on which one they're mining. So Litecoin, the amount of Litecoin is going to go, I think, from 24 to 12. So they're going to get less of a reward. This is important because for people to continue mining, they have to justify how much money they're making, meaning that Litecoin should be at least double in price to justify getting half of the reward. It also means that less Litecoin and less Bitcoin will be mined at the same time. Half the amount will be mined. So there could become a scarcity factor, and supply and demand could also come into effect and really skyrocket the price. Especially if the people start coming into the market and they can't get Bitcoin and they can't get Litecoin. That's why you'll see on exchanges, you buy Bitcoin or a Litecoin and they say, we can't give it to you for 2 days or a week or 10 days sometime because they don't have it. They have to get it. And that's why it's always smart to take your Litecoin and Bitcoin and put it on a hardware wallet that takes it off the market. And that way you're sure you have it. Just in case it does skyrocket and the exchange decides to do something wacky, and who knows, take your coins or something. I mean, who knows? It's not a regulated market. Anything can happen. Fun-based, yes. About to get Neil Armstrong on. We can talk about that too. Taking 3 Bitcoin offline and holding them for years. That's great. If you have 3 Bitcoin, Anthony, that is awesome. I wish I had 3 Bitcoin. Chill throwing up the 666 finger hand gesture. Oh my goodness. Did I do that? Was I doing this? I'm sorry. I was shooting 3-pointers. No, I'm not. Trust me, I am a Christian all the way. I grew up Catholic. Didn't seem right to confess my sins to another man, especially if you know anything about all the child molestation and pedophilia in the Catholic Church. You'll understand why I got out of there. Not that I was personally molested or anything like that I know of, but uh, Christian religion just seems like it's you and there's Jesus and the Bible, and So no, I'm not. I'm not Illuminati confirmed. But boy, I can tell you some stories that I've heard about the Illuminati. I can do a whole show on Illuminati and conspiracy stuff. Trust me, I can do multiple shows. Australia, Richard Love. All right, Australia checking in. Thank you, sir. Welcome to the channel. I really enjoy Litecoin. Yes, Seth, I enjoy me some Litecoin too. I'm driving now, Benny V. I subscribe. Thank you, Seth. Bitcoin hits 1 million, Litecoin easily be 20,000. Yeah, I think so. I think that is very realistic. Litecoin being 20,000. You're good, bro. Cool. Thank you. Even though you're a job support, I still like you. Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm all for, support whoever you like, but I'm not going to hate you because you like somebody different than who I like, and that's the crazy thing that's going on in this world right now. People hating others just because of who they like. We should all be pulling for America and pulling for the person who's in charge, no matter, well, not no matter, I guess not no matter who it is, but as long as it's obvious that they're not trying to run the country down or hurt the country, then it's all for one. We got to be united. And this is another thing that the elite do. They try to divide us by race, by religion, now by politics. Man, they give us so many other things to keep us occupied with. It's crazy. Let's see. If it's funny, people don't think twice borrowing 50,000 for a house, but I know, right? Yep, I know. And they say that a house is actually, well, it's a debt. You ever heard rich dad, poor dad? He considers a house to be a debt, not something that's actually, it can be good if it's paid off, but until then, you don't own it. The bank owns it. True or false? Crypto has made you more money than any lottery ticket scratcher. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. All right, I'm like to the bottom here. Do I own over 100 Litecoin? I do. Not much, but a little bit. You're doing a great job. All right, guys. So here I am at 49 minutes. And if you have learned anything or just like to hear what I have to say, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you want to, you know, come back and visit me again sometime when I'm talking, or watch some of my videos, they'll send you notifications. And don't leave, Joe. Yeah, well, it's about 50 minutes. I only planned on really talking for about, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 minutes today. So I'm well over that. There's not that much going on today. I didn't think I had much to talk about. Do I have a Twitter? I do sign in Lou. However, I'm very seldom on there. I used to be on there more when I would do my altcoin recommendations back when the market was going up. But anyway, guys, kiss your wife, kiss your girlfriend, hug your kids, pet your pets. Joe knows cryptos. Why Bitcoin hodlers scared of Litecoin? Why? Because they're scared that it's going to be competition for Bitcoin, is what it comes down to. They're scared. They're scared of Litecoin. They're scared of too many small people getting into it and becoming wealthy. They're scared that they didn't get in before the big. Not that it was a huge run up, but from 22 to where it is today at 87. They're scared because they know that there's still Bitcoin out there that are unaccounted for that they may have, that they may use to try to manipulate the market with. They're scared of Litecoin because it's cheaper than Bitcoin. It's easier for people to buy and get into who can't afford to buy a whole Bitcoin. Now, I still like Bitcoin, don't get me wrong, but these people are probably heavily invested in Bitcoin, XRP, the bankers' coins, and then they probably have money scattered about through the whole crypto market so they can try to manipulate prices up and down as well. But great thing is, if we find out that the elite have been concentrating on one coin, we can all say, you know what, elite, you're in XRP. Well, guess what? We're going to use Stellar. Now, who knows? Maybe they have a bunch of Stellar too. They've got so much money, they can be in a lot of things. But what they definitely don't want is a bunch of us regular people becoming super wealthy, because super wealthy people can give them problems. Super wealthy people can take their ideas and actually get them out to more people. And that's scary to them. They want to control the narrative all the time, always, at almost any cost. All right. And they're willing to do almost anything to keep the power. But when there's so many cryptos out there and things aren't going their way, they're starting to panic. Every day that Litecoin doesn't go down, they panic that an institution is going to come in and buy a whole bunch of Litecoin, because the halving is scary to them. They know when that word gets out, halving, that pension funds, other whole countries can put it in a reserve. They're scared that every day Litecoin doesn't come down, that it has a potential to go up and make a whole bunch of poor people rich, and they don't like that. All right, guys, I already said my goodbyes, so Joe Knows Crypto signing out. Peace out. Signing off. Peace out.